If Branka is anywhere, this has to be it. She will not be unprepared. What was that?
Let me be blunt with you. After all this time, my tolerance for social graces is fairly limited. That doesn't bother you, I hope.
Well, shave my back and call me an elf. Branka? By the stone! I barely recognized you!
Oghren. It figures you'd eventually find your way here. Hopefully you can find your way back more easily. And how shall I address you? Hired sword of the latest lordling to come looking for me? Or just the only one who didn't mind Oghren's ale breath?
Be respectful, woman. You're talking to a Grey Warden.
Ah, so an important errand boy, then. I suppose something serious has happened. Is Enrin dead? That seems most likely. He was on the old and wheezy side. Balin, is it? Twisted Cretan the last I heard. Not surprising he's done so well for himself. I don't care if the Assembly puts a drunken monkey on the throne. Because our protector, our great invention, the thing that once made our armies the envy of the world, is lost to the very dark spawn it should be fighting. The Anvil of the Void. The means by which the ancients forged their army of golems and held off the first archdemon ever to rise. It's here, so close I can taste it. The Anvil lies on the other side of a gauntlet of traps designed by Caridin himself. My people and I have given body and soul to unlocking its secrets. This is what's important. This has lasting meaning. If I succeed, the Dwarven people benefit. Kings, politics, all that is transitory. I've given up everything and would sacrifice anything to get the Anvil of the Void. Enough questions. If you wish me to get involved with this imbecilic election, I must first have the Anvil. There's only one way out, Warden. Forward. Through Caridin's maze, and out to where the Anvil waits.
What has this place done to you? I remember marrying a girl you could talk to for 1 minute and see her brilliance.
I am your Paragon.
Good old Branka. She's a bit, abrasive, isn't she? Guess I forgot that part about her screeching in my ear every sodding day. Oh well. We'll help her get the Anvil, and then she'll come home, and everything will be better.
I needed people to test Caridin's traps. There's no way to break through except by trial and error. I sent them in. They were all mine, pledged to be my house, and they didn't want to help. They tried to leave me, even my Hespith. But even she couldn't understand that when you reach for greatness, there are sacrifices, as many sacrifices as are needed.
On your guard, wretch!
She shouldn't have gone. She was pledged to me. She swore she'd do whatever it took to find the Anvil. There was no other choice. Most of them were dying of the taint already. But some of the women were transforming. I knew what they would become. There would be an endless supply, fresh, dark spawn to test the traps. They could still serve me. Let me find the Anvil. It was the only way.
Now it's better than later.
holding my hand and begging to die. They had pledged me their loyalty. They had no right to fight me. They say your order is renowned for its wits as well as its brawn. Perhaps you'll do better than my poor clansmen. There's something about this place. It makes people despair.
Watch it, horror, as I rip you apart! More blood! Where's the next one? Now's better than later. I'll get on it. Now's better than later. Got it. Now's better than later. Got it. Now's better than later. Got it. All right, all right. Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back? All right. Come on!
Watch out!
Show them no mercy! How about you? Let's see what you're made of!
Let's end this!
I can start on the smaller digits first.
Got it. right, all right.
Trap right ahead. Trap right ahead.
Got it. Watch in horror as I rip you apart! Get on. Let's see some blood! Excellent!
Here comes Oghren! Never have me.
At your service.
Push them back!
Something is coming. On your guard, Rich! Better than later. All right.
Over there.
That about wraps it up. Alright, alright. Now it's better than
Down you go.
I didn't warn you.
it is done. Now it's better than later. Alright, alright.
You should have got it!
Got it. Breaking a sweat already? More blood! Where's the next one? Got it. Better than later. Alright, alright. That'll teach you. Now what? Alright, alright. Done. Anything else? Now it's better than later. I'll get on it. Got it. Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
Alright, battle it is then. Defend yourself!
Time, Banter.
Alright, alright. Have at you! Die already! More blood! Where's the next one?
What? No more?
That about wraps it up.
It speaks.
It doesn't have better things to do. That is true. I do not. I'm not interested in getting into a discussion on the subject, however. Ask another time. If it is done asking overly obvious questions, let us find some humans to throw off a cliff, or something. It speaks. Its journeys are fascinating. I had thought its chances slim, but perhaps I'm even wrong on that point. Does it wish me to leave? I can, though I see no reason to go. Then I shall remain. It is too interesting to abandon for now. Perhaps we should continue. Its chances of success are small enough without further dawdling.
My name is Caridin. Once, longer ago than I care to think, I was a paragon to the dwarves of Orzammar.
Caridin, the Paragon Smith. Alive?
Ah, there is a voice I recognize. Shale of the House of Kadash. Step forward.
You know my name. Is it you that forged me then? Is it you that gave me my name?
Have you forgotten then? Ah, it has been so long. I made you into the Golem you are now, Shale. But before that you were a dwarf, just as I was. The finest warrior to serve King Valtor, and the only woman to volunteer.
The only woman? A dwarf?
I laid you on the anvil of the void, here in this very room, and put you into the form you now possess.
The Anvil of the Void. That is what we seek.
If you seek the anvil, then you must care about my story, or be doomed to relive it. I do. I live to ensure that the anvil was never used again. Now it never shall be. It allowed me to forge a man of steel or stone, as flexible and clever as any soldier. As an army, they were invincible, but I told no one the cost. No mere smith, however skilled, has the power to create life. To make my golems live, I had to take their lives from elsewhere. It was an option I could offer warriors who would volunteer to defend their homeland, and some took it. But King Valtor became greedy. He began to force men, casteless and criminals, his political enemies. All of them were to be given to the Anvil. It took feeling the hammer's blow myself to realize the height of my crimes. I, trapped forever in my own creation, a fitting punishment, I suppose. My apprentices knew enough to make me as I am, but not enough to fashion a control rod. I retained my mind. You were amongst the most loyal, Shale. You remained at my side throughout, and at the end, I sent you away out of mercy.
I do not remember.
We have remained entombed here ever since, and I have sought a way to destroy the Anvil. Alas, I cannot do it myself. No golem can touch it.
No! The anvil is mine! No one will take it from me!
Shale, you fought to destroy the Anvil once. Do not allow it to fall into unthinking hands again!
You speak of things I do not remember. You say we fought. Did you use our control rods to command us to do so?
I destroyed the rods. Perhaps my apprentices eventually learned to replace the rods. I do not know. But if so, then all they need is the Anvil to make all the slaves they need. You, please, help me destroy the Anvil. Do not let it enslave more souls than it already has. Your own people were slaves once, were they not? Would you force the very souls of others into slavery for eternity?
Why are you listening? We had an agreement. I'm the one you came here to find, not him.
Branka, you mad, bleeding nugtail! Does this thing mean so much to you that you can't even see what you've lost to get it?
Look around. Is this what our empire should look like? A crumbling tunnel filled with dark spawn spume? The Anvil will let us take back our glory!
The Anvil's power goes against everything I know to be right.
I cannot allow you to do this, stranger. To me, golems! Defend the Anvil, whatever the cost!
I cannot be party to this. Caridin, I am yours to command.
Yes? I'll hit on it.
Watch out!
It's a massacre and no one's getting out alive! You thought I was going to fall. Sure won't be me!
I suppose violence.
Can I get you a ladder? You can get off my back?
Be careful!
I cannot do this alone.
Now it's better than later. How about you? Ready. Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
This is the end!
Run while you still can!
Sometimes.
Now is better than later. Got it.
Names. Long list of dwarves. Wait, hold on. We honor who have made this sacrifice. Let their names be remembered. Fart me a lullaby. It's a memorial of all the dwarves who became golems. Has to be. If there was some way of getting this back to the Shaper at Norzamar, I bet they'd brown their trousers. And pay good gold for it. Probably both.
Here it is! The Anvil of the Void! So sweet! Such power!
You found the Anvil. Are you happy now? Maybe we could go back to Orzammar, share the good news.
Look at it. It was worth it. All of it. The Anvil is everything I thought it would be.
I should have known. I thought that once you had the Anvil, you'd be satisfied.
Perhaps I could use it now. A reward for defeating Caridin. You wanted a crown, no? Or have you set your sights higher than the petty kings of Orzammar? Believe me, I appreciate the thought, but it will take me a while to master all the techniques without Caridin's example. Why don't we go with the crown for now? There it is. An ugly lump of hot metal to go over a couple of empty heads. Now leave. It will take me some time to fully realize the mysteries here. I can hear it. It wants to be used again. It speaks in 100 different voices. Surely you can hear them. The dead. You think that's who I hear? But... no! It's the Anvil, calling to be used!
Did you hear what Caridin said? Hundreds of people were bound into golems, trapped inside the Anvil when their bodies were destroyed. That's who you hear!
No! It's not true! You lie! But I will not believe that was Caridin. Caridin would never turn on his own invention. He was a genius. The best of us all. He must have been wrong. The Anvil was Orzammar's salvation. The voices, they've been calling to me for so long, and I didn't even... Hespeth tried to tell me, but I wouldn't listen.
You have to make this right. The Branka I knew would do what is right.
The Anvil must be destroyed. It's an abomination. Go. Return to Orzammar. It's better they never know what became of me.
All right.
Well, that pretty much beat the sod out of how I imagined it. You ready to head back yet and share the news? Yeah, those Deshirs have been trying to destroy the city for years. Haven't managed yet.
Lords of the Assembly, I call for order. This argument gets us nowhere.
Then why these delaying tactics? I call for a vote right now. My father has one living child to assume the Idukan throne. Who would deny him that?
Your father made me swear on his deathbed you would not succeed him.
I apologize for the interruption, Lord Steward, but the Grey Warden has returned.
Well, Warden, what news do you bring?
Branka sacrificed herself to destroy a cursed sodding artifact that should never have existed. Before she died, Branka forged this crown for Orzamar's next king, chosen by the ancestors themselves.
Then tell us, Grey Warden, which king did Paragon Branka endorse? We've argued in these chambers for too long. The will of the Paragon is that the Grey Warden decide.
I appreciate your forthrightness, Warden. You have acted with grace through this entire torturous process.
Let the memories find you worthy. First amidst the lords of the houses, the King of Orzammar.
I will not abide by this!
The ancestors have spoken.
Would you let a surfacer decide the fate of the dwarves?
Watch out! They brought weapons!
Guards!
To arms! For House Iduken!
Now it's better than later. Can I get get off my back?
I admit I did not think even Balin would defy the word of a Paragon, nor that so many would follow him. But most of Orzammar has seen him for what he really is, and I trust we will bring this insurgency under control. Those loyal to the throne will begin preparations for a surface mission immediately. Orzammar will fulfill its treaties. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must get to the palace and set our plans in motion. I'll talk to a sculptor, see what we can do. This is the staff I carried as King Endrin's II. Take it as a reminder of your place in Orzammar. I wish you luck against the Blight Warden. May we foster another 4 centuries of peace.
Your role in this election will long be remembered, Warden.
Orzammar is finally in good hands.
King Endrin would roll over in his grave to see Balin today.
Your role in this election will long be remembered, Warden.
Can you believe Balin doesn't know when he's lost?
I'll send my men to King Harabont for your army.
So, I was thinking, we've come to know each other fairly well during our time in the Deep Roads. You're bloody fearsome for an elf. and I'm a warrior without a house to defend. Wandering about killing darkspawn with a sodding Grey Warden sounds like just the thing to keep me occupied. So what do you say? More than that. It'll cost me my house to take a trip like this. But I don't have a bleeding house to begin with, so who cares? I'm better off up there with you than down here where the sodding children laugh at me. What good would I? You got so many allies you couldn't use one more? And one with 1,000 shattered darkspawn skulls to his name? And glad I am to hear it. You won't regret it. Now, do any of these sad sacks following you around know the first thing about making ale? Never mind. You can stop with the glaring. I'll ask him myself.
Grey Warden, you have impressed the best of us. If I'd heard it secondhand, I'd have called it a sodding lie. Warden, we've got a king because of you. The rest, impressive, but the Legion is grateful most for restored leadership. It frees us to fight to the Darkspawn properly. Nay, our place is down here. When you break the Blight, and you've got the skill, we'll make sure they have nowhere to retreat. You'll have us indirectly. That's more than any surfacer can say. You alone have the skill to back up your words. Each of the Legion owes our homeland a death, but if our lives are better shed on the surface, so be it. Back to Orzammar when we win, though. I'll not stay topside to lose my stone sense.
I started to worry. I didn't know if you were ever coming back. Did you find any records? Any sign of the old Ortan Tig? You found them? Let me see. That's my great-grandmother's name. And her husband! Oh, great ancestors, it's them! It's me! I am an Ortan. Oh, thank you. I have to take these to the Assembly right away. Find me there. Once these are acknowledged, I'll give you any reward.
Impressive work, Warden. King Haramont's impending coronation has been entered into the memories. Is there something more I can help you with? What's this? A list of names. Most of these clans no longer even exist. Is this authentic?
You bet your hairy arse it is. Taken from a tablet in Caridin's fortress, no less.
Then is it true? The rumors of Caridin's so-called volunteers? Extraordinary! I would love to make a copy of this. The Shaperate has never had much information on Caridin and his golems, much less proof of this magnitude. Warden, I hope this artifact from our archives will suffice as a reward. I must inform the Shaperate at once.
I'll get on it. Now is better than later.
My name's Orta. After the old Ortan house, they gave our seat back. And the records show which houses still owe House Ortan money. One day, I will be able to properly thank you for all you've done for me. And I don't know what treasure is left, but whatever I get, you can have as much as you want. I'll have to find someone willing to look. Maybe a whole expedition. If the Tig is still there, it must have something. House Ortan will not forget this kindness. Didn't that sound official?
Thank you for having faith in House Harrowmont.
House Harrowmont owes you everything.
House Harrowmont considers you one of its own.
House Harrowmont will not forget you.
You will always be welcome here.
I will not forget who won me this throne.
It's about time the Assembly saw sense and put Harrowmont on the throne.
I will not allow the warriors that serve my house leave to defend the surface. Why should our strong dwarven men die for these humans? And that wife of Harrowmont's? She doesn't deserve to be queen. I've even seen her wearing the same dress twice. Shameless.
So Harrowmont managed to snatch the throne after all. And I hear we have you to thank.
News of the hour. Harrowmont is king! What more need be said?
At last we have a king again. I trust that King Harrowmont will do what is best for Orzammar.
Well, I see what sort of company you've taken up.
I trust Vala, my nug-wrangling friend.
Ancestors smile on our new King Harrowmont.
It's hard to believe we have a king again. I suppose the ancestors figured the Idukans had enough.
Is something the matter? Are you thinking about Branka?
Branka?
You loved her, didn't you? I've seen you some nights, staring off into the distance with such sadness in your eyes. You wonder if you did something that drove her away. You wonder if she would have stayed if you had done things differently. She must have loved you. Somewhere inside.
That sodding great dew-licker had a heart clad in iron. She had only one love, the Anvil. Later, the Anvil only sighed because I was gassy and finally let off a good one. Should be hitting you right about now. Silent killer, huh?
Is there a nug left in all of Thedos? Don't think so. You're astounding.
How do you stand it? All that open air. Sometimes I look into that big black emptiness and it's like it's swallowing me up.
I like it. I like to imagine the sky goes on forever. Boundless fields of stars whirling and swirling eternally in their slow dance.
Not helping. I don't like looking up and seeing a great infinite nothing.
You know, in the old days, people said that the sky was an immense vaulted ceiling, crafted by the Maker himself to protect the world. But the ceiling sky covered the world in shadow, and so he set in it the sun and moon to light up the world below. And then he made the stars, and laid them down in curious patterns that man will look upon them and wonder what they represented.
So the sky is just the inside of a great sodding cave.
That's what they believed, and it gave them comfort.
Then why the bleeding mud did your maker build it so high up? Give me a moment. By the stone. I feel like I'm about to fall off the world with all that sky up there. Strange? Strange is your wife turning out to prefer the ladies, not living in a world without a bleeding ceiling. Well, let's get moving. We're losing, daylight.
Hail to the Grey Warden! Long live King Harrowmont!